Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Oracle DB online training. So in this session, we are going to look at how to configure a bidirectional replication for Oracle Goldengate. Okay, so previously we have covered how to perform the Oracle Goldengate installation, and also we have looked at Goldengate architecture in detail. So today we'll configure a bidirectional replication. So let us move further, and before we go further, I'll request all the new friends to please subscribe my YouTube channel. Also you can enroll a membership of our YouTube channel so that you can get an exclusive contents before we launch. Okay, and you can also connect me on various social media platform. If you want any personal training, get in touch with me on these contact details. So previously we have covered how to perform the Oracle Goldengate installation. If you haven't gone through those videos, please go through, because this is a prerequisite video for today's session. And also, if you want to learn about Oracle Goldengate architecture, so please go through these two videos. These are very important. And even though you can look for various other videos also on our YouTube channel. So recently we have launched Oracle 21C track and single instance database installation. So kindly go through if you haven't watched those videos. There are a lot of learning on this platform. Please subscribe our channels and keep on learning. So let's start today's session about Oracle Goldengate bidirectional replication. So basically an active-active configuration looks like this. So you have a primary system as well as a secondary system. So on the primary, this is our source database, and this is going to be our target database. And so on the source side, basically we have to configure an extract, which will basically extract process will extract the data from the your source database, and it will write those details in the local extract. And from there, we are going to use a data pump, which will basically transmit this data from the local trail file to the remote trail file. And on the target side, we have replicate, which is running, and it will read the remote trail file and write the data in the target database. Okay. And in case of bidirectional activity configuration, basically this will become a source database again, and it will transfer the data from as a primary extract will work on this side also. And we will have a data pump which is running. So it will basically extract the data from this new source database. Okay, so from here it will extract the data, and it will write in the extract trail files. And after that, it will transmit those data into the data pump, and from the data pump, it will write in the remote trail file. And here, from here, it will basically replicate the data to the target database. So it's basically active configuration. So whatever the data are basically here, it will replicate it using the Goldengate mechanism of extract and replicate processes. Okay, and so if you want to learn more about these processes, so please go through our architecture video. I'll provide the link in the description. And so let's move further. And so this is our environment. Basically, previously we have installed Oracle Goldengate software, and even though we have created a database login authentication. So those things are, I mean, prerequisite part is already covered in our previous videos. Please go through that. And so we are going to make a replication like this from this database to second target setup. So this is going to be our source setup, and this is our target setup. Okay. So we have kept the database name similar. You can keep any database name. That's up to you. And from here, the data replication will happen for using the Goldengate replication mechanism, and also the reverse replication will happen. Okay. So this is about the environment details. And so very first thing that we have to cross verify is we have to make sure that etc host contains the source as well as the target entry, and it has to be, I mean, both source setup as well as the target setup has to be reachable from vice versa. And we'll verify this once we log in into the actual prompt. Okay, and moving further, we have to basically verify the parameters, whether this log mode is enabled or not, and even we have to verify supplemental log data mine along with the force login. It has to be enabled. So those things we have already covered during our installation. Okay, so in that video we have covered how to perform the installation along with some prerequisites like this, how to enable the supplemental login, how to make enable Goldengate replication parameter. So those things we have already covered. So kindly go through those videos. So our source and target setup is already ready. And so we have to basically, in today's session, we are going to configure bidirectional application. So let's move further, and I'll just jump to my command prompts. So these are our source setup. So I made make the naming convention as a source here, and this is going to your target setups. Okay, and this is a GGSCI prompt from where we are going to perform this task. Okay, so let's move further, and so basically manager process is the first process that has to be up and running. Before that we have to log in into the GGSCI prompt. So we are already logged in, and so using the DB login user alias that you have already created, use that one and log in into the database. If you don't have any user alias, then you can basically log in using username and passwords. And apart from that, you can verify the manager parameters. So previously we have used this manager configuration parameter. So here we had defined the port that is the default port 7809, and apart from that we have defined purge of extract files from this location after minimum keeping of 7 days, and auto start is also we have defined. Okay, so suppose any extract is getting down due to some reason, so as a manager process the responsibility is to start this extract after retry of 10 and waiting for 5 minutes, and then so this is basically auto restart of feature that you can enable from the manager's configuration file. Okay, so within the parameter of manager you can define these things, and after that we can verify the health of manager process by running the info all command. So info all is showing that manager is already up and running. If it is stop state, then you can start it manually using start mgr. Okay, so next part we will similarly log in onto target setup also using the DB login credentials. So we have already set up the user alias previously, so we can basically use that user alias to log in into the GGSCI prompt. So this is also up and running. So next part is to configure the tran data. Okay, so you have to basically run the add tran data. So before we do anything, basically we have to create a table structure. So we are going to use test1 user on the primary side, and on the secondary side we are going to use test2 schemas, and all the tables related to this schema basically going to be replicated from test1 user on the source side to the test2 user on the target side. For that I'm going to create two schemas. So test1 schema I'm going to create on the primary side. So using create user and quota unlimited on users table space, I'm going to create this user. So I'll log into the SQL prompt. From here I create this user, and then later we'll verify this whether this user is created or not. Okay, so we have successfully created this user test1 on the source side, and same thing we have to do. Here we are going to create test2 users on the target setup. So I'll go and create this table. So log into the target setup. This is our target setup, and now I'll verify it. Okay, so this is our test2 scheme setup, and after that we have to basically create few tables also. So I'm going to create a demo table, demo1 on the source side. So the same table I'm going to create on the target also, because the mapping is asterisk. So it will assume that this table has to be exist on, or else if you in the mapping, if you are specific to any tables, then in that case you don't have to make the same table. Okay, so now what I will do, I'll just let us create another table, a demo2 as well, on the target setup, and same table I'm going to create on the source also. So it will be demo2. Okay, so that means we have two tables created. One is demo1 and another one is demo2. And this is our source. Sorry, this one is our source side, and this is our target setup. Okay, so once this is done, then after that we have to basically go back to configuration part. So from here I'm going to run the add tran data. So whatever the tables are there in the source setup, they will be basically added into the tran data. So I'll just execute it. Basically, it is expecting some a unique key, but it is not there. Because of that, it is throwing this error warning. So that's okay. And after that, we'll create one parameter file, that is edit param ext1. So this parameter file I'll use, and within this we are going to make an entry like extract. It's the name of extract and user alias that we have already created, and this is the file we are going to use. Okay, and sorry, this file we are going to create as extract trail file. So it's naming like AA, and include the DDL mapping that we are defining here. Okay, so use this values and put it here. Okay, after this we have to basically register this also with a database. So I'll execute register extract ext1 data register extract ext1 database. So it will register with a database, and then we have to add the extract with the integrated translog option, and after that we have to enable it also. Sorry, we have to start extract. So we have added integrated txt. So after this extract trail, so this file is already exists, so that means it's okay. Not a, what we can do, we can maybe remove this file, then that should be because we don't want anything to be. So I will just relog in. So let me just relog in and try to execute the same command again. So we have added this one, and now we are going to run this add extract command. So it will, so it has, okay. So after this, we'll start the extract. It has started. So we can run the info extract information. So that is running. After this, we have to create a data pump. So I'll just edit the parameter, the data pump, and make these entries like extract name, user alias, remote host. So here it is important. Remote host is our second target setup. So this is entry, and this is the manager port. So 7809 is the port on which it is going to receive the data, and the remote trail file name is this one. So I'll just copy all this value, and this is the table from the test1 schema. Okay, I'll just save this file. After that, I'm going to add this and start it. So this is done. Let us start the extract, and so this is started. Now we can run the info all and verify these details. So this is running, even though you can run the stats also to verify if there is any change. So as of now, there is no data. So after this, we have to go to the target side and configure the replicate. And before that, we should make sure that the manager process is up and running. So I'll just verify details on the target setup. So this is a parameter details. So we can run the info all to verify whether the manager is already up and running on the target setup. This is a setup 2. That means this is our target setup. And after this, we have to basically create a checkpoint table also on the target side. So we have created a checkpoint table, and then we will create a parameter file for replicate. So within this, we'll make an entry of replicate information where mapping is very important, like test1 schema and star we have given, and target is a test2 star. That means all the tables from this side will be basically mapped to all the table on the test2 schema on the target side. Okay, so we will just copy all this value and put it in the file. So now this is done. So after this, we have to basically make a registration of replicate with the database. So once that is done, then we'll just copy the commands and execute it here. Okay, so replicate is getting started. Now we can look for the status of replicate also. So this is up and running. Now we'll run the info all command to verify it. So replicate is up and running. So I'll just go back to this prompt, and here also I'll verify. So on the source side, we can see the extract as well as the dump extract, data pump extract, both are up and running. And on the target setup, we can verify that these two replicate is also up and running. So the next thing that we need to do is insert some data and verify whether it is reflecting or not. So in this session, basically our target, our assumption is that it is going to be a new table for which we are doing the replication. So in upcoming days, I'm going to show you how to perform the initial load also if the data in the table is already there. So that part I'm going to cover maybe in the next session. In this session, basically we are doing insert on the dummy tables, and we have created and inserted. We are trying to insert some data. So on the source side, I'm going to insert some data on the test1, and it has to reflect on the target side. Okay, so now we have inserted one data, and I'll try to execute select on the source to verify so it is accessible. And after that, I'm going to run the select query on the target side. So the table name will remain the same. Just a second, let me verify it. So we'll verify what is exactly happening here. So let me just check. So now after looking for info all, we can see that it is up and running, and I'll just try to re-execute the select query. So previously, I think I added only one insert. Now I added another row into this table. That is on the source side, I added another entry in the table. So we can see that we have two entries over here on the production setup. So two rows are there, and similarly on the target side we can fetch the two rows, but here the schema is test2. Okay, so our mapping has been done from the test1 schema to the test2 schema on the second node. Okay, sorry, on the target setup. So on the source it is a two node, and also on the target is having the two rows. Okay, that means our replication, unidirectional replication is working fine. You can look for the stats also for the data pump and the extract also. Okay, so it will basically provide you how many rows are updated or inserted or deleted. So those things you can verify from here. And even though you can look for the stats of your extract, so ext1. So this is also showing you the details. Okay, and the same thing we can run on the stats replicate. Okay, so sorry, its a name is replicate, not. So here also we can see that total 2 insert is happened. Okay, and we are able to successfully fetch the data from target setup also, as well as the source setup. So next part that we need to do here is for bidirectional configuration, we have to move further, and we need to basically do some configuration. So from here we are going to make a bidirectional configuration. So far, whatever we have done, that is basically come as a unidirectional replication. So now I'm going to create another entry for target on the target side. So now my target basically it will act as a source setup. So if you look at our initial diagram that we have discussed, so now our source will be basically this target destination. So wherever I'm going to use the target side, that means it is going to be my new source setup. So on the new setup, I'm going to run the add tran data command, so that I'll add all the tables from the source setups. Okay, so let me just execute it from the. So for all the tables of test2 schema, I'm going to add tran data. Okay, so I just executed it, and after that I'll create another extract on the source side. That is our new source. So info all, if you run this command, so you'll see only as of now only one replicate is running. So I'll edit another, I'll just insert another extract. So from here we'll all the changes. So here the file name is basically going to be changed, because you cannot use the same file name which you have already provided there. Okay, so I'll make the entry in the extract, and I'll try to start this. But before doing start, I'll just register this extract. So let me just register this also on the database. And after that, I'll run the begin command. So this is done. After that, I'm added the extract ext trail file also, and then I'll start it. So now if I'll run info all, so now you can see ext2, that is our extract on the new source side is started. Basically this is our original target, but we are saying that it is a new source because we are configuring the bidirectional. Okay, I hope you are understanding. If you have any queries regarding any points, you can send me email or send me a text message, or I'll definitely try to help. Okay, so as of now our extract is configured successfully. Now I'm going to create a data pump also, that is this part we are going to create. So far we have done this much, and now I'm going to create a data pump. Okay, so I'll edit data pump. So these changes are basically going to be done on the our original target and the new source, you can say. And after that, I'll select all the values from here. That means a table of test1. This is going to be test2, not test1. Okay, so I'll just copy all this value, and I'll paste here in the data pump parameter. Okay, so I'll save this file, and I'll just add the extract data pump 2 on the new source, that is our sorry, there is one mistake that I did. So basically this will be a setup 1, not setup 2. So it's a remote host, basically will be setup 1. So I'll just copy from here. I'll make an edit in this parameter file, otherwise this is going to fail. So just make sure whatever you are doing, just be careful, otherwise small mistakes can make a big problem. Okay, so let's remove this one, and again re-add it. So let us re-add. So I'll just try to re-execute these commands. This is remote trail is added, and now we'll try to start the data pump. So if I run info all, it should be up and running. So now you can see extract 2 and data pump 2, which is now running on our target setup. And now this is acting as a source for the bidirectional configuration. Okay, so once this is done, then we have to basically come to our original source, that is new target setup. So here we need to run the add checkpoint table command. So it will add a checkpoint table commands. After that, we have to make a replicate parameter. So if you look info all here, so as of now, you can see 3 processes are running, 2 extract and 1 manager, which was originally used. And then I'll run the edit param replicate to and make an entry of these tables. So mapping is very important. So we are now doing the mapping from test 2 to test 1. Okay, and we have defined handle collision and assume target definitions. Okay, so make all these entries in the replicate to parameter file. So I'll just put these values here. After that, I'll save this file. I'll try to register this replicate. Okay, so once you register it, then add the replicate. So once this is done, then you have to basically start the replicate too. Now it is started. You can run the info all replicate command. So you can see that it is up and running, and even though you can run info all to verify all the values. So now you can see replicate 2 is also up and running, and here we'll just verify info all whether all the processes are up and running or not. And then I'll try to insert some value on the target setup, that is test2.demo. On this side, I'll just try to insert some value here. Okay, so I'll just copy I'll just go back to my insert command from here. So let me just copy the commands. So remember, guys, we are doing the insert on the our new source, that is the original target setup. So I'll put it as a test2 and the table name is demo1. I'm going to insert some value as a 2. Okay, and before I'll do anything, I'll just run the select command so that you can verify. So as of now, only 2 entries are there. I'll try to insert the third. So third row is inserted. I'll execute the commit. Okay, after that, I'll just try to run the select. So you can see that we have 3 rows now on the target setup. I mean the new source setup. So this is basically done on the new source. Now I'm going to run the select commands from here. So here you can see this has reflected the change. That means it is basically transferring the data from new source to the new target. Okay, so that means our bidirectional configuration is successfully tested. I hope you have understood how to make a bidirectional replication in Goldengate. So today's agenda of bidirectional replication is completed. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, and if you have any question, you can send me details on my email ID. I'll definitely try to help. And thanks again for watching this video. Have a great day.